Just a yes or a thumbs up in the comment section would do. Then we are going to soon start off with the session. So it's going to be a very exciting session. Let me tell you from beforehand itself, because we had so much fun solving these questions, and I hope you are also going to have that much fun in solving these questions. Quickly, let me know if you can hear me clearly, can see my screen clearly, and then we are going to start off with the session. Okay, I'm getting yes and yeses in the comment. Good evening, everyone. All right. So, how many of you are here after attending the Infosys exam today? Let us know in the comment section. We are going to have a very um, happy interactive session today. All right. So, since we are going to begin, let's start off with it. Welcome, everyone. Today, we are going to discuss the Infosys verbal ability questions for the year 2023. Now, let me tell you that these are the questions which we have summed up from today's all of the questions that were asked in Infosys. All right, because we just got over with the examinations and we are here with all the solutions itself. So, if you have already given the exam for today, welcome. You are going to get all the answers if you were correct or not. And if you're going to have your exam tomorrow, then welcome. You have come to a very great place for preparations. All right. So let's begin with the questions now. All right. So a very quick information for you that if you're not connected with us on any of our social media handles, make sure that you are there with us on Instagram, WhatsApp, Discord, LinkedIn, and Telegram, because since the drive season is here and we know that a lot of companies have started hiring and they're announcing their hirings anytime, any day of the month, right? So you are going to miss out on the updates. So if you don't want to miss out on the updates and you don't want to miss the opportunities to get placed, make sure that you're connected with us on Instagram, WhatsApp, and Discord. Along with that, make sure that you are subscribing to our YouTube channel and click the notification bell, because we are going to be live a lot of times in this month. Like, it's going to be a full-fledged live month. So if you don't want to miss any of the live sessions with us, make sure that you ring the notification bell as if that you get notified whenever we are coming live. Also, if you have joined this session, make sure that there is another session coming up after this session as well from Prep and Stuff. So make sure that you are there for 2 hours along with us on this journey. All right. So let's begin with the session today. All right. So one very important disclaimer in this particular section is that there are a lot of questions you are going to see from three particular topics, and these are reading comprehension, it's going to be error identification, and then it's going to be fill in the blanks. All right. So a lot of questions, I would say majority of questions are from these type of sections itself. And let me tell you, the Infosys verbal ability section is the most difficult section in the entire Infosys exam. All right. So that is going to be a very important disclaimer for all of you, that it is one of the most, I would say it is the most difficult section in the entire Infosys examination. So make sure that you have prepared your verbal section very, very well, because it took us time to solve. It's definitely going to take you time to solve as well. All right, that's everything said and done. Let's get back to the questions. So, I want all of you to please comment in the section below the answers, whatever you think is right, because this is going to be a quick and cool interactive practice session. I don't want it to be very monotonous that I'm continuously speaking. So, make sure that you're interacting and giving me the answers. All right. So, the first question is there on your screen. It's a fill in the blank question. Let's read it through. High prices keep out the masses and justify the high taxes in a vicious circle that raises transaction costs and dash in the economy. All right. So we have a sentence that talks about economy and tax rises and prices rising as well. So, and we have four different words as well over here. So let's quickly look through the options. The first is inefficiencies, intransigencies, insufficiencies, and inconstancies. All right. So I want your answers in the comment section only. Then I'm going to move ahead. All right. So we have the answers coming in. All right. So we have a tough competition between option A and option B. Let's look through the meanings, shall we? So inefficiencies. This means someone who is inefficient. All right. When someone is inefficient or not up to the mark. All right. That is known as, I'm sorry, it's not coming up properly. It's not up to the mark. That is what is known as inefficiencies. But because we are going to talk about the economy rising, all right, and the let's say the price is rising, the tax is rising, and when the price is increasing, when the tax is increasing, what is happening? There is a lot of fluctuation in the market, and due to a lot of fluctuation, what happens? The market cannot be constant, right? It's not about inefficiency, it's not about insufficiency, but it is about inconstancies. All right, that means that things are not constant in the economy. The prices are rising, that is and because of that the taxes are rising, and that is a vicious circle. What do you understand by the term vicious circle? A circle that is never ending, a circle that is going on and on and on for a lifetime. All right, that is known as a vicious circle, that is raising transaction cost. And what is it creating? It is creating inconstancies in the economy. All right, so the answer over here is inconstancies. All right, it is not efficiencies or insufficiencies, but inconstancies. And what do you understand by the term intransigencies? It means the state of refusing to compromise. All right, in a place where you cannot compromise. All right, a state where you cannot compromise is known as intransigencies. All right, okay, so answer is option D. Let's move forward. Okay, so the next question is an error identification question, or let's say a sentence correction question. All right, so let's quickly look through it. In each of the following sentences, some part of the sentence or the entire sentence is underlined. Beneath each sentence, you will find four ways of phrasing the underlined part. So choose the option that is correctly phrasing the entire part. All right. So that is what we are going to do. We are going to rephrase the underlined part over here. So I am giving you some time. Please try to answer this question. Drop your answers in the comment below. We are going to look through it and then we are going to discuss. All right. Okay, another very important thing, that if you have any kind of queries or doubts, please drop them in the comment section. Our moderators are there to help you out with all of the questions. Before that, one very important thing that we, Prepping as a company, has done to help all of the students out is we have created a cheat sheet for all of you. All right. And what is this cheat sheet? This cheat sheet helps you to crack the Infosys exam with all of the added solved questions that have come in the Infosys exam. All right. So once you just move through it, you can see that we have all of the sections given over here along with the syllabus and the different sections with proper questions and answers and solutions as well. So if you want to get your hand at the cheat sheet, the link is in the description of this video. You can definitely go and take through this cheat sheet. As you can see, it's a very cool thing. We are just flipping through the book and trying to learn what questions can or cannot come in the Infosys exam. All right. So if you want the link to this cheat sheet, it's right there in the description below. All right, let's get back to the question. So, globalization too uses economic, social, and political relationships as well for creating new boundaries that are not dependent on geographical proximity. All right, so here the underlying part is social and political relationships as well. All right, for creating. Now, one very important fact over here that we need to understand is we have used the term and over here. All right. We have used the conjunction and over here. All right. And we have also used the conjunction as well over here. Now, this is termed as redundancy. When you are using a lot of added words in a particular sentence, it leads to redundancy. Because you are already using and over here, you don't have to use the term as well. All right. So, globalization too uses economic, be social, and political relationships. All right. That is the first answer. So we are going to eliminate the term as well. So option A, and option D over here are eliminated immediately. For the next part, we are using a simple present tense form over here, right? It's a simple present tense form that says globalization too uses economic, social, and political relationships. Now, with that, what do? We use a simple present tense form. And because of that, we are not going to use the continuous form over here, but we are going to use a simple present tense form that is to create. All right, that is to create. So, globalization to uses economic, social, and political relationships to create new boundaries. All right, it is neither A, it is neither C nor D, but it is option B. Globalization to uses economic, social, and political relationships to create new boundaries that are not dependent on geographical proximity. All right, we are not going to use that create because here globalization is used as a person, as a subject. So we cannot use that, but we have to use to. All right, so option B over here becomes the correct answer. All right, I hope that is clear to you. Let's move to the next question. Identify the correct sentence out of the sentences given to you. So let's go through it. In specific terms, the power sector could gain a lot if the new scheme to tie up coal supply sources work. In specific terms, the power sector can gain a lot if the new scheme to tie up a coal supply sources work. As specific terms, the power sector had gained a lot, and on specific terms, the power sector will be gained a lot. Now, let's quickly go through it. Let's quickly see which of the options can be correct over here and which sentence is actually grammatically correct. So let's look through it in specific terms. Now, let's go one by one. Let's eliminate the options. The first rule is that whenever we are using the term specific, we don't use as or we don't use on, but we use in. All right, in specific terms. So automatically option 3 and 4 are eliminated. Why? First of all, they're not using in specific terms. Secondly, since we are talking about the entire power sector in the present tense form that can be done now and in the future, we cannot use had, gain, or past perfect tense over here. And we cannot use the future tense along with will be gain. So future perfect cannot be used over here. We are going to use simple present tense. Again, coming towards sentence 1, when we are using simple present tense, we cannot use could gain because again, could becomes a conditional sentence. But because we need a simple present tense sentence, we are going to go with option B. The power sector can gain a lot if the new scheme to tie up coal supply sources work. All right. So we are going to use, all right, option B. Let's move forward. Okay, so we have a quick reading comprehension over here. Now, I have cut short this reading comprehension. I have taken only the first part. I'm going to give you 15 to 20 seconds. Quickly read through the entire passage over here. Let me know in the comment section once you are done, and we are going to switch to the question. All right. If you have any query, please comment down below so that we can quickly deal with the questions and the queries as well. You will receive the link, I think. If they have not sent it yet, you will receive. Don't worry. Okay. All right. If you have any query, guys, you can quickly drop all of your doubts in the comment section. We are going to deal with it. The moderators are going to help you out with all of your queries. If you want to get your hands on the cheat sheet link is in the description of the video. So you can get your hands on the cheat sheet and prepare for your exam tomorrow if you have it tomorrow from the cheat sheet itself because it's going to help you out a lot. Okay, so I think we can move towards the question. Which of the following can be noted about the techniques used in the comedies of Shakespeare? A. They were examples of works that used only a few characters. They were consistently employed in all his plays. The techniques were never repeated in his work or none of the above. So over here, what we're talking about is which of the following can be noted about the techniques used in the comedies of Shakespeare. Now, for the first sentence, it talks about there were examples of works that used only a few characters. All right. Okay. Now, there were examples of work that few characters used. Now, let's come back and see. Shakespeare is known one of the world's greatest playwrights. He has written tragedies, histories, and sonnets, but one of the Shakespeare's greatest talent was writing comedies. He used many techniques when writing a comedy, and some of these to be consistent throughout his comedies. So, over here, we can see that they were consistent throughout the comedies. That means the techniques that Shakespeare had employed in all his plays were consistent throughout all his comedies. So it is not that only a few characters were used in his plays or in his comedies, or the techniques were never repeated. No, but they were consistently employed in all his plays. All right. So over here, option B can be the correct answer, which says that the comedies, according to the passage, the comedies and the techniques that he used in his plays were consistent throughout. All right. That means they had a love marriage theme, they had making fun at the lower class theme, all right, and then they also had the technique is to get considerably as you in as you like it, all right. So it's different types of comedies. Okay, I think so. The correct answer over here is option B. Okay, let's move forward. Without new generation computer chips made in Japan, the US Department of Defense cannot guarantee precision of its nuclear weapons. If Japan told Washington that it would no longer sell computer chips to the United States, the Pentagon would be totally helpless and in a dangerous position. Which of the following statements strengthens the argument? So we are talking about strengthening a particular argument. So we're talking about inference. We're talking about statement and arguments. All right. Yes, this question was also there. So let's quickly go through it. The accuracy of the missiles depends on the quality of the computers. The Americans can do a little better than depend on the intelligence of other countries. Japan can completely upset the American military balance if it sells its computer chips to the Soviet Union instead of the US. The Americans have been wise in calling off the arms race. Now, we're talking about strengthening the argument. That means the argument that is given over here needs to have an option that strengthens it. All right. So it says that if Japan stops giving its computer chips to America, the America is going to face a helpless situation or a dangerous position. And the Americans can do a little better than depend on the intelligence of other countries. Is that inference in any place in this in the passage? No, it has never been said that America can do better or can do worse without the help of Japan. So we cannot infer that. All right. Japan can completely upset the American military balance if it sells its computer chips to the Soviet Union instead of the US. Again, it is not mentioned over here any term regarding Soviet Union. It is not mentioned that Japan is going to give its chips to Soviet Union or to any other country, right? So we cannot infer again this option. Americans have been wise in calling off the arms race. In entire passage of 4 lines, it has never been mentioned that America has called off its arms race. So we cannot use that as well. Lastly, we are left with option A. The accuracy of the missile depends on the quality of the computers. And how can we infer this or how can we strengthen? Because without new generation computer chips in Japan, the US Department of Defense cannot guarantee precision of its nuclear weapons. That means if the chips in the computers are not advanced level of are of not advanced quality, their defense is going to be attacked. The defense is going to weaken. All right. So okay, we are going getting a lot of queries in the comments, so we are going to look into it sometime later. So the sentence that is strengthening the argument is the accuracy of the missiles depends on the quality of the computers. That means if Japan is not supplying the chips to America, their defense system can get weak. All right. So that is the answer. That is option A for this particular question. Let's move forward. Okay. Quickly read through the question, try to answer this, then we are going to discuss the explanation. Till then, let's look into the comment section. We cannot guarantee, there's some person named as Rockstar. We actually cannot guarantee you if there are chances of repetition of today's questions or not, but we would let you know that these questions, the pattern is going to remain the same. All right. The pattern is definitely going to remain the same. So you can definitely practice from these questions and learn, enhance your verbal section actually. Let me tell you, the verbal section is the most difficult section. We had a tough time in solving these questions. Okay. Yeah. MD Anas Sheikh, we have actually taken the real questions of today's slot. So we are going to solve those only here. Okay. Clinton's dash staffing decisions contributed to the political turmoil of his initial years. So the sentence says that Clinton, a particular person, staffing decision, that means his decision to staff his office, contributed to the political turmoil of his initial years. So we have used a negative word over here, that is a political turmoil. That means a dispute. So there has been a dispute in the office due to his decisions. So we need a word that contributes to this particular negative emotion. All right. So let's look through the options: malleable, meticulous, malign, or maladroit. Now, what does the term malleable mean? Malleable means someone who can be easily influenced, right? Someone who can be easily influenced. But do you think that Clinton's decision was influenced by someone? No, it wasn't. It was his own decision. Let's look through meticulous. Meticulous means someone who pays a great attention to details or is very careful when taking decisions. But since we have used a negative term or a negative effect of the decision, we cannot use the term meticulous. That means he was not meticulous when taking the staffing decision. All right. Malign. Malign means causing harm. Malign means causing harm. Again, his decision did not cause harm to anyone, but his decision was bad, was a wrong decision. And that is what is meant by maladroit. Maladroit means someone who lacks decision making skills or lacks cleverness. That means, or lacks smartness. That means this was a person who did not take decisions smartly. All right. So option D, Clinton's maladroit staffing decisions contributed to the political turmoil of his initial years. So his decisions were not accurate. His decisions were very incorrect. All right. So we are going to use the term maladroit over here. That is option D. All right. I hope you are trying to pay a lot of attention to all of these explanations, because it's definitely going to help you out. And this is how we have actually curated our prime course as well. All right. So what we have done in the prime course is that we have tried to answer all your questions in the verbal section itself. And like I told you that the verbal section is very difficult for Infosys. All of the theories have been explained in the prime aptitude section very precisely from the basics till the advances. All right. So it is only going to help you out when you are practicing a verbal section or any of the section whatsoever. We have covered everything from the basics till the highest or till the advanced points. All right. So it is going to be very helpful if you look for the prime courses over here as well. Also, if you have recently joined our live session, let me tell you that we have a cheat sheet only for Infosys created, and the link is in the description box. So if you want to practice through the cheat sheet and if you want to practice through the question, this is the best time if you have your exam tomorrow. The description of this cheat sheet will be mentioned in the description below. All right, let's get back to the questions now. Okay, Select the word segment that substitutes the bracketed word segment correctly and completes the sentence. All right. So again, we have a sentence improvement question over here. Let's look through it. He hasn't dash left the house from last Friday. I think there is something wrong with him. So here the person says that he hasn't, or let's say Mr. X. Mr. X hasn't left the house from last Friday, I think. That means the person is still residing in the house and the person has not left the house yet. So, how does it help you out? This means that the person has, you know, has stayed inside the house from Friday and has not come out till the present moment. Let's say it is Sunday. All right. That means the person had started the action in the past and it's still continuing in the present. So, when we are talking about one particular point in the past, which is still continuing in the present, we use the term since, all right, and not from. From indicates a point, a period of time with a starting and the ending point. But since we do not have the ending point over here yet, we don't know when the person is going to come out of the house. We are not going to use from, but we are going to use since over here. So we are not going to use from, but since. Next, left the house from last Friday, I think. Why are we using the house and not only house? Because the person is staying inside his own house. So that particular house is a specific house. Am I right? It's a specific house. And because it's a specific house, we are going to use the definite article the. So he hasn't left the house since last Friday, I think. All right, I think there is something wrong with him. All right, so we are going to use option A over here that says left the house since last Friday. We're talking about one particular point of time. All right, not a period, but one particular point of time. All right, let's quickly go through. Okay, this is another question for you. Can you please go through it quickly? Let me quickly check the comment section below. Okay, so let's talk about it. There is a dash between the academic world and the industrial world. So there is a dash between. That means we're talking about two different worlds. We're comparing the two different worlds, and we are talking that there is a difference between them. So diurnal. What does the term diurnal mean? It means it is related to mostly animals and birds. All right, it is related to mostly animals and birds. Hence, we cannot use the term diurnal over here. The next term is dichotomy. And what does the term dichotomy means? Dichotomy means a sharp division of things. All right, sharp division of things. Okay, that means there is a sharp line or a sharp division between two particular things, and that can be one of the answers over here. Right, that can be a very possible answer over here. Okay, dissolution. What do you understand by the term dissolution? Dissolution means an act of ending something or dissolving something. For example, ending your marriage or ending your business contract or ending any agreement. All right, that is known as dissolution. That is a dissolving a particular agreement. And dolph over here means something noble and majestic. Especially, we use this term dolph for very informal term. For example, noble or majestic wolf is known as a dog. Alright, so it particularly does not fit in the sentence. But the term that rightly fits over here is sharp division of things, that is dichotomy. All right, there is a dichotomy between the academic world and the industrial world. So, academic and industrial worlds are very different. So we are going to use the term dichotomy, that is option B over here. All right. So I've seen a lot of people have answered B over here. That is completely correct. Kudos to you that you have such strong vocabulary. So let's move forward. All right. So we have another passage over here, and it's about dolphins, and it is one of the answers from today's slot. So please go through the passage quickly. I'm going to give you some time over here. Go through the passage, and then we are going to solve this question as well. Okay. All right. Quickly read through it. I think people are saying that the screen, the passage is cutting through. Yeah, it is. But it's just a few words here and there. It's not the entire passage, and it's not going to trouble you at all. Okay, let's look at the question now. What has been cited as a similarity among humans and dolphins? So we're talking about humans and dolphins over here, and it talks about what has been cited as a similarity between the two. All right. So let's get back to the passage over here. The first line itself, if you read it, the answer is right over there, and it's a direct referential question. Since dolphins are like human beings in so many ways, for example, dolphins have a special respiratory system just like humans. The only difference is that dolphins are able to stay underwater for a long time without breathing. So, what is similar between humans and the dolphins? It is the respiratory system. So this is a direct answer. We don't have any explanation over here. We don't have to, get deep into the explanation. So direct answer, that is option C. All right. Okay. Let's move forward. Let's talk about this question. Again, we have another fill in the blank. All right. People, very new people have joined over here. So letting you guys know that we have a new cheat sheet ready for you, which is going to help you out for your Infosys preparation. If you have an exam tomorrow, this is going to help you out, right? So in this cheat sheet, you have all the questions and answers with the solutions that have been asked in Infosys exam, and you have the link in the description below itself. So if you want to get your hands on this particular cheat sheet, you can do it from the link in the description below. All right. Okay. Also, like I have told you that the question difficulty level for verbal in Infosys is very high. I would tell you that it is the most difficult question, most difficult section. So we recommend you to practice it the most, the best. And I would recommend you that if you do it from prime, because I personally myself have tried my best to explain all the rules, everything from the basic till the advanced, only for our students to have a clear idea of everything. So make sure that you are going through prime as well before you sit for the exam. All right. The ham was dashed, the scrambled eggs congealed, and the fruit juice fermented. So what do you think can be the answer over here? Disabused, diffident, delineated, or desiccated. All right. Let's go through the meanings over here. Disabused. What do you understand by the term disabused? Disabused means something that is free from error, something that is not abused. We can say that it is a division between two words, abuse and dis. This is a prefix, and abuse is a root word which means to be harmed, to be erred. All right. So disabuse means something that is free from any error. All right, free of error. Diffident. Diffident, if you break it down, it comes from the word confident, but because you have the prefix D over here, this particular term turns the word confident into negative. That means diffident is a person who has no confidence, who has lack of confidence. All right. Next is delineated. Delineated means to describe or draw something in great detail. All right, in great details. Lastly, we have desiccated, and desiccated over here means something when you are drying your food. All right, that is meant as desiccate. That means you are sun drying something, so you're desiccating it. You are keeping it inside something for a long time and drying it out, drying the juices out. That is known as desiccated. All right, so here, since we're talking about the food and fermentation of food or congelation of food, we are going to take the term desiccated as the correct answer over here. All right, desiccated means drying of food. That means the ham was desiccated, so the ham was dried. The scrambled eggs were congealed. Congealed means to solidify something, to solidify a liquid thing. That means the scrambled eggs were solidified and the fruit juice was fermented. So your answer becomes option D over here. And I can see a lot of you have answered option D over here. So I'm very happy to see that your verbal ability and your vocabulary is good. But even if you're the people who are going wrong in these questions, don't worry, we have these sessions for you. You have Prep and Stuff Prime with you if you want to prepare your Infosys for tomorrow or any other drive. All right, so it's not just for Infosys. Prep and Stuff Prime can help you out not just with Infosys but all other company placement section as well. So if you want to prepare for it, you can do it right from Prep and Stuff Prime. All right, because we have all the courses from the basic till the advanced. All right, let's go through the next question. We are, in fact, one of the longest continuously operating national legislature in the world. Now, this is a very interesting question. I was very happy when I was solving this. So, please take your time, try to solve this question. We have almost come towards the end of the session. We're just going to solve two more questions. So, quickly answer this. Okay. What about cutoff for section? I guess there is no sectional cutoff as of now. We don't have the information, but I like difficulty level is very high. I would say that the difficulty level is very high for verbal, especially. It's very high. Okay. Can someone quickly give me a reason as well for your answers? Because I see a lot of people are answering, but I want to see what you know thought process you are having when you're answering this. If any one of you could just type your explanation as well as to what you're thinking when you're answering the question. Okay, so I there's a topic as well that reasoning questions are also very difficult. Okay, all right, so let's talk about the answer over here. You are going to be stunned when you see the answer. We are, in fact, one of the longest continuously operating national legislature in the world. All right, now, no, redundancy is not the answer. Yes, I am going to take your name, Deepthi Hana Sundar. I guess I called out your name correctly, Deepthi Hana Sundar. Because it should be legislatures. Yes. Why it should be legislatures? Because we are talking about one of the longest, that means one of all legislatures. If you're talking about one of all right. So that particular all is going to be in plural, right? Because it is more than one. It's going to be plural, right? So we are, in fact, one of the longest continuously operating national legislatures in the world. All right. Why legislatures? Because it has to be plural in term, because you're one out of the lot. So this lot over here is or should be plural, and you are one out of it. All right. Understand that. This is the lot and you are one out of it. So this lot needs to be plural, right? So one of the longest continuously operating national legislatures in the world. So legislatures should be plural over here. All right. Again, Deepthi Hana Sundar, I'm going to congratulate you. Your verbal is quite well. All right. So it's going to be all, it's going to be plural, and it's going to be legislatures. That means option C over here becomes the correct answer. All right. Option C is the correct answer because there is a plurality error in the sentence. All right. So that is the correct answer. Perfect. Let's move forward. Okay. So we have answered these questions. All right. Let's look through this question. All right. Again, we have a quick error identification question and then we are going to wrap up this session. So take your time, try to answer this question. Also, I'm going to need your explanation as well this time because let's just make it interactive. All right. It's not just when I am speaking continuously and you are here to, just listen to me, but we are going to interact here as well. Please try to answer this question with a proper explanation or just a little explanation as well. Pen and paper, I think you can use a pen and paper, but it should be visible to the screen, like visible when you are being proctored. Okay. Okay. For reasoning and for aptitude, that is mathematical reasoning, we already had the live sessions yesterday where we have discussed the Infosys questions. The actual Infosys questions, definitely not of this year, but of the last year, but the questions were almost the same. So if you want to go through the logical and the mathematical section, you can do it from yesterday's live session. And for today, we are going to have two live sessions. That is, one is verbal, that is, we are already having it, and the next is puzzles. All right, the puzzles question is also going to be there after this. So make sure that if you are attending this session, you are also attending the next session of puzzles as well. All right. Okay. Quickly, if I can get a reason as well. Okay, so we have reasons either or, neither nor. All right, let's quickly go through it. To capture his equity, Murphy must neither sell or refinance. All right, now there are two sections in this question. All right, there is first is to capture his equity. That means Murphy wants to capture his equity, and in order to capture his equity, what should he do? He can sell or refinance. Now, understand the term that capturing his equity is an action that can be done only by the use of selling or refinancing. That means we have to obviously use a correlative conjunction, that is either or, neither nor. Neither and nor is incorrect because neither is used with nor and either is used with or. First of all, so incorrect. Second is option C is eliminated. Why? Because it is using either and not. So again, not a proper pair of correlative conjunctions. The third rule over here is since the action of capturing has to be done either by reselling or refinancing, we have to use the term either or and neither nor is eliminated. Because what does the term neither nor means? It means that you don't have to do any of these actions, but definitely in this sentence, it means that Murphy will have to either sell or refinance in order to capture his equity, right? He has to do either of these and not neither of these. So option A is also eliminated and option B becomes the correct answer. And as I can see in the chat, a lot of you have answered option B over here. So again, kudos to you that you have such great verbal ability skills. But if you want to refinance or re-enhance it, you can take the help of Prep Insta Prime. You can take the help of the cheat sheet of the link of which is there in the link in the description itself. And you can also come on to Prep Insta Prime and learn all about the verbal section, the aptitude section, the puzzle sections, the coding section, and etc. 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 There are a lot of things that you can find on Prime itself, and it's not just for Infosys but for other companies as well. All right. Let's quickly get back to the question. So over here, like I told you, option D is going to be the correct answer because Murphy has to perform either of the tasks. All right. So either sell or refinance. Jitendra Chakravarti, like I told you, that Prepinsta Prime is not just for Infosys, but it's for other companies as well. Like you know, TCS is going to come up next week, and we have the news that Cognizant is going to hire off campus. We have the news that Accenture is going to hire very, very soon. So it's not just for Infosys. I would say that you have a lot of companies coming up as well. That is the reason why I suggested you Prepinsta Prime. And if you have the time, if you have the courage that you can invest your overnight journey to prepare for Infosys even better, then you can definitely take Prime. All right. If not, cheat sheet is definitely going to help you out with that. All right. So, yes, like I told you, we have come towards the end of all the questions. Again, if you're not connected with us on any of the social media handles, Instagram, WhatsApp, Discord, Internet, Telegram, make sure that you are connected with us because a lot of companies are starting to hire, and we want all of our students wholeheartedly that you get the updates of all the drives. So, make sure you follow us on Instagram, especially because we have particular pages that are dedicated to your passing out year. So if you want to follow that particular page, you can follow that as well. And we have a separate Instagram handle for all the off campus updates. So if you think that very few companies come to your college as on campus, you can follow our Preference off campus page as well. Along with that, make sure that you are subscribing to our YouTube channel and ringing the notification bell, because we are going to come live a lot of time in this particular month, because this is the drive month, like we call it. It's the drive month, and we are going to come live a lot of time. So we want our students to be connected with us, and we can help you out with it, right? So that's it for the verbal section. Please stay, because you are going to get the next link for the puzzle section as well, which is going to be from 7 to 8. That make sure that you are there, you are preparing yourself for the entire section, for the Infosys section as well, and you go through the exam, you clear through the exam. That is what we want, that you clear the exam. All right. So quickly, I'm giving you 2 minutes. If you have any queries, please drop them down in the comment section, and then we are going to wrap up the session. Yes, there is going to be coding as there. I think there is going to be pseudo codes. All right, there's going to be pseudo codes. How can I recap? This live session is going to be recorded and will be there on YouTube. So if you want to go through the entire session once again, you can watch the session over here as well. All right. So this has been a very great session for me as well, because it was very fun solving these questions and helping you out with it, and you were interactive as well. So thank you. Thanks a lot. Please stay there, because we are going to come up with the next session soon. So yeah, that's it for today's session. We are going to sign off now. Thank you.